Welcome to Christians Against Religion. I'm Steve.
And I'm Ethan.
And we're reunited yet again.
I know, it's been a minute.
Yes.
We apologize, folks.
But here we are.
Very tired, here early as always.
Yeah, I'm pretty sleepy, yeah. You know what else is sleepy? Dogs and cats. Do they have souls?
Is that really how you decided to bring in the topic?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to try this again? Okay.
No.
I'm really tired.
Okay.
You know what else sleeps in my bed when I'm tired? A dog or a cat. Do they have souls?
Okay, well, that wasn't much better, but I'll accept it. Well, I think not. Now, whenever I have a dog die, we always say in my family that it's in doggy heaven. But it's also the same thing I say about my fish and any other pet that I have owned. So I think that is just used as a comforting tool. Now, is it right? Probably not. But, I mean, it's what humans say to comfort themselves in pain, right? And so, but biblically, I don't think the Bible really has much to say on it because it wasn't written to cats or dogs.
Yeah. Well, also, didn't God give man dominion over the fish in the sea and the animals on the land? So perhaps there is something there, but yeah, it's not really specific, I don't think.
Yeah, and there's going to be animals in heaven, obviously.
Are there?
But yeah, there is. But is it animals that we had? I don't think so.
Alien animals? We have alien animals in heaven?
And maybe Steve. But I don't know. It's just one of those areas where it's like you can think what you want about it. Like it's.
You're saying my lizard does not have a soul, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think it has a soul. That's my opinion.
But my lizard, Gary, is a good lizard.
Do you actually have a lizard named Gary?
Yeah.
Well, what about my fish? I have some really cool fish.
Fish has no soul.
Oh, what does my fish not have a soul?
Only lizards. Only lizards have souls. No, yeah, I don't know. I tend to think that they do not. I don't know.
I accept that.
I'm curious the arguments for souls for little doggies, and
I think it's just purely emotional.
Yeah, I think so. Plus, yeah, like you said, like the Bible was made for us and all that. Similar to the aliens argument. It doesn't say anything about aliens really, because it is not relevant.
Yeah, and so I have to ask this. I don't know if this is specifically related, but I'll throw it out there just so this conversation doesn't die out. So animals were affected by the fall, correct?
Yeah, I guess.
So why were they affected by the fall? Because they didn't sin.
Yeah, but it affected people too. Like if they weren't affected by the fall, it wouldn't make sense for lots of stuff, I guess. If like I guess it could, and then men would just be savages. The only thing that like kills and eats other animals and stuff. If the animals were just chilling, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the animals were made for us essentially, right? To do whatever we do with animals, right? So if they weren't affected by the fall, it'd be kind of weird, because they're kind of, it's all in one. What were the trees? Were the trees affected in the fall?
I mean, the tree of life was taken out of the garden, so yes.
Okay.
Geez, Steve, you know to turn your ringer off before a show, don't you?
I pretty much always have it off.
Are you the one person in the movie theater whose phone goes off during like the most important part of the movie?
No. Just today, because I had my ringer on, when I was texting you guys and for my alarm. That's the only reason it's on. It's always off.
I've never seen you text me so much until this morning.
Yeah, I was trying to be responsible and like,
I just looked at my phone and I said, "Dang, man."
Yeah, I was like, "Give me another hour." Anyways, trees affected by the fall, grass affected by the fall.
Yeah.
Everything affected by the fall.
Yeah, and if you were to assign animals a soul, then you would have to assign like every other living creature.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, what about like the amoeba?
Yeah.
What about the
ant that you step on?
Ants have more of a soul than a amoeba.
Okay, well, go ahead, Steve. I know you're an ant guy, so I'll accept it.
That's fine. Yeah, you kind of have to draw the line somewhere. I just tend to think other living things are living, but I wouldn't say they have a soul per se. But then that opens the argument for but then why not? Where is it? Where's that soul?
I mean,
why don't they have souls?
Why don't they? They were made for human beings, and God just didn't give them a soul. I mean, it seems that like one of those things. Well, why did God do this? Why did God do that? It's like I don't know. He just did. Like that's not my job to answer. You know, I'm just supposed to tell you what God did, not why He did it.
They don't have. Excuse me. They don't have a soul. That's why they don't care about music, dude. They're just like doing nothing. They're sitting and listening. You listen to music and they don't care.
Is that the one thing that makes them not have a soul? All right.
It's evidence. I'll take it.
Well, you know what? We'll let Steve have that evidence.
What super serious topic do you have to discuss, Ethan?
So, but before the show, this is the first time in like, what has it been, like a month?
Yeah.
That we've gotten together. So, actually longer than that.
Clearly the juices are just flowing right now.
Yeah, I know. So we're really struggling and we're all tired and feel miserable. But we had no topic this morning, and so I was saying a bunch of like serious stuff we can talk about, and he was saying a bunch of like.
Do animals have souls?
Yeah, stuff like those lines.
Jesse came up with that topic. He sent it to me. It's a good topic. I like it.
I like the topic too, but
there was another one too that was silly. But go ahead and explain.
No, let's hear it. I'm curious.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, now we have to get the whole phone out. I thought you had it in your head.
No, I don't. I'm not that good at remembering things.
You can tell we're really professional around here. I'll sit back.
Okay, it's constantly scrolling doesn't make it go up any faster. It actually stops it. I hope it's worth it. Jesse, hopefully your topic was worth it. Okay. Do animals have souls? Life on other planets.
All right, we're back to aliens.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's interesting. We'll do this, and we'll leave my serious topics for another time. Life on other planets. Well, I was listening to this YouTube channel and talking about what scientists are saying, that there's like a 45% chance that in the Milky Way galaxy there's intelligent life.
45%?
Yeah.
That number is not even close to
Hey.
I don't know what they're using to get that number.
I don't know either. I'm just saying, right? Because let's see, we have 400 million stars in the Milky Way galaxy. It's either that or billion, but I'm going with million, right? And each of those stars have an X number of planets, right? Mm-hmm. And so in a percentage of those solar systems, there's likely to be a couple planets in the Goldilocks zone, right? Mm-hmm. And so whether that figure is accurate or not, I don't think it is. I think it is highly likely that there is life outside of our solar system. In fact, there would have to be, because like even within our own solar system, there's good evidence that there was life on Mars.
I guess Yeah, I was gonna say life, but not intelligent life. But I guess that doesn't matter in the debate on the Christian side, right?
Yeah,
because
it doesn't matter.
I think people get, well, we talked about this on the Alien show, but people get so like worked up about the fact that there can't be life anywhere else because the Bible doesn't mention it. But the Bible just doesn't mention it. It's not relevant. Like it's a book for us, essentially, right? Relating to us, not aliens.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that would even factor in, anyways.
Yeah, we're just ignorant on it. I mean, you can't make any conclusions based off of that.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. And I don't think it diminishes anything in the Bible if there are aliens on another planet. Sorry, my voice is like hoarse, and like we were watching UFC fights and like yelling really loud, and now my voice is shot. So sorry, audience.
My voice was shot a couple days ago from screaming on an airplane.
Yeah, that's what's happened to me right now. So if I sound like squeaky, that's why. But yeah, as far as aliens go, I don't think it diminishes anything in the Bible if there are aliens out there, even intelligent ones, even more intelligent ones than us.
Yeah. I think it's highly likely, honestly. I mean, and as we continue to explore and get better telescopes and technology, we'll find out. But there's plenty of planets that are presumed to have the possibility of life due to their position at their star, and whether they have like water. I mean, with the moon Europa, which goes around Jupiter, there's evidence of oceans underneath the ice.
Yeah.
And you could tell because the ice moves as if it's tectonic plates, and of course it's not lava doing it, or because it would not be ice, right? And so there's evidence in that, and of course Mars with ancient rivers, and there's solid water at both of the poles, and they look for fossils over there. So we'll just have to see. There's no reason to fight against it, though, because one, that's dumb. We live in a massive universe with 400 billion galaxies at least, right? As far as we can see, not in the observable universe, and each of those has hundreds of millions of stars and trillions of planets. So I think it's honestly kind of dumb to rule out any other life.
Well, but here's the thing, though. We've not seen it yet. So
true.
There's an equally possible chance that there isn't any life as there is to being life, because we haven't seen any, empirically anyways. So you can make your guesses and stuff, but there's still no way to be sure until you see it.
So you're saying that the fact that we haven't seen it yet makes it just as likely that there isn't life that there is?
Yeah, because we haven't seen life begin anywhere besides here. So we could equally be the only life in the universe or not. It's kind of where we're at right now.
I understand why you say that. Like a part of me is a little antsy with it, just because it's about sheer probability, and that's what makes it more likely that there's life. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I suppose. But there's so many different theories out there, and they could all be right or wrong or whatever. But in that debate, it's kind of like,
yeah.
We could be the only ones. We don't know, because as of right now, it seems like we're the only ones. Fermi paradox and all that.
That is true.
Where are the aliens? Where have they been? They should, in theory, be able to contact us by now, but...
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Based on the sheer timeline of the universe, and like, even if a civilization was like 100,000 times more advanced than us, they should be able to do that, but that's not that much time in like the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, so
it's like a tiny little...
Let's say there is an alien civilization on the other side of the galaxy, and somehow they knew that we exist and wanted to visit us. It would take them 120,000 years going the speed of light to get to us, right? And so just the sheer vastness of the universe, and like how our radio signals have barely like even gotten out there in terms of the grand scheme of things.
But we haven't even seen, like, you could see evidence of life and intelligent life based on, like, ozone's changing and stuff from afar. So we just haven't seen any of that. So it's kind of interesting. But
yeah, it is.
We also haven't searched very much too. So
yeah, I mean, we tried. It's just we're so limited.
Yeah.
At this point, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next century.
What do you guys think? Are we alone in the universe?
Write that in the comments below.
Is it relevant?
But write a reasonable comment. Don't make it long. Don't make it a ramble.
Can you be a Christian and an alien?
You know what? Surprisingly, that is interesting. Just surprisingly.
These are the questions that we like to think about on this show. Christians against aliens.
Wait. I have just such a random question that popped into my head.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with this. The only thing it has to do with is scientific advancement. Do you think, Steve, that one day within the next couple hundred years that medical science will advance enough to be able to stop aging?
No,
really?
Maybe. I don't know. It'd be kind of nice.
It would be nice.
Also, is that against our Christianity to be meddling with our lifespans?
It is interesting.
We already do it.
I know we do. Oh,
maybe that's why the anti-vaxxers are there. They're saying, I don't know.
Say God wants us to die of COVID.
Yeah.
I actually met a guy that was in a coma for 5 months from COVID and can't walk anymore.
But they can't take their diabetes medications or anything if they're going down that route.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what I mean? Because what's the difference?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'd say let's go for it. I don't think it's against the Christianity because why?
Yeah.
I mean, we already tamper with our bodies and health. If that's just making us essentially prolonging our healthiness, then...
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Just the other thing is like, how long is that going to make me live for? Because there's like a certain point where it's like, okay... I don't want to be around anymore. Like Jim Gaffigan has a good joke. He's like, I want to live a long life, but how long? You know, have you ever seen a really old person and it feels like they're just trapped in their body? It's a...
Yes.
And so it's just like, I mean, 100 years is chill, but like, how long?
It also depends on how healthy our bodies are, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that question is a little easier to answer, I guess, because it's just more medical technology that we already have. But the real question is, what about if we can't do that and our body is going to die eventually? This one might happen earlier. It's trying to upload your consciousness to a computer or something. Can you upload a soul?
I think you can upload genetics.
Is it you? Or is
are
it just
you
a copy
you
of you
without a soul?
No. Are you if you get uploaded to a computer?
Well, no.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, I could be dead wrong. I really could. But
I agree. It freaks me out.
Man, that's crazy to think about.
People are trying. They're working on it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also just like the huge advancements in like genetic technology and all that. Like, I mean, if someone really wanted to, they can make another Steve or another Ethan, which would be crazy. But that does throw in the implications of like how the soul works or not. Like, if someone were to make another one of me, like, would it really be me or just genetically me and no soul? Or
well, yeah, that's the thing. Plus, our cells freaking die constantly, and we're being replaced by new cells, right? So you're not the same body that you were. I don't remember how long it takes to do that, a full circulation of cells, but what's the difference? Is it just the memory, or there's more cells that are still there than the ones that left, or what's the deal? And what?
These are the deep questions we wonder about.
And why is that different from the computer? It's not.
But would you really want to be in a computer?
I know, I really don't. It freaks me out. But I'm just saying, like, it's a question for my brain. because like people are going to want to do that, and I would think about what it would be like. It freaks me out. I think you just die, and then some copy of some sort is stuck on a computer, and it's mimicking you, but it's not you.
No, but death is an interesting thing on that note. I watch a lot of YouTube, if you couldn't tell. I'm one of those YouTube researchers.
Me too.
And I just watch things on like near-death experiences and all that. And I know we've talked about it, but it is just such a complex thing that we have no idea about. And actually, there's a lot of science with it too that Sam Harris was talking about, because he's a neuroscientist, right? And if you guys don't know who he is, world famous atheist, very smart guy, has one of the toughest eyebrows I've ever seen. They could probably lift a dumbbell. Have you ever seen him talk?
No. I've looked at his eyebrows when he talks.
Notice it. The William Lane Craig debate he did, it's always up the whole time. But anyway, he was just talking about it, and him and Christopher Hitchens were debating this Jewish rabbi, and the Jewish rabbi was talking about what Sam Harris talked about, some of his research of like consciousness being like separated from the body. Sometimes you could actually, when you're dying, look above your body or something like that. And I'm like, dude, like that's crazy. Even secular scientists are like experimenting and developing theories about this stuff, because it's absolutely mind-boggling, just some of the stuff that happens with that. So that was a rampage with no end to it. But I just wanted to bring it up.
What was I gonna say? Keep talking about death, I'll remember it. Near-death experiences, something. Ethan says something. That was a really good question.
What happens after you die?
No, not that. Oh, I got it. What about, I don't know if this is possible, or since we're on the futuristic show today, what about if like people make humans out of, I don't know, whatever, they just know what makes up a human, and they take the time to do it and try and build a human, essentially, right, from the ground up. How would Christians treat them?
Treat the person that they built?
The person that they made. Like, so if you know, like, there's not even like Westworld, where they're like actual like robots, but like synthetic, but kind of, or rather organic life. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm wondering if this were to happen, how would Christians react? Because I feel like it would be a big hot topic, and they'd be like, we'll call them synths for the example. Synths are not humans.
Okay,
they're not real. God doesn't love the synths.
I would say that God does love them. They're like, definitionally they are human. You don't think so? I mean, it is.
I don't know.
Okay, so let's ask the question. Like, what like terms define what a human being is?
But are they a God's human?
well, I mean, this like leads into the topic of like other species of human too. Like, were they sinful? Were they under like, yeah, the whole thing? Were they saved too? Like I mean,
also, I've just thought of something.
Okay.
God created Adam, but after that, humans create humans. So would this be any different?
Then God created Adam?
No. Here's the reason I'm saying this, because if we had like synthetically made humans or whatever, in whatever form that is, we'll just say it's organic for the argument's sake. It's humans creating life, and I feel like Christians would be like, that's not real life. But humans are constantly creating life, I've just realized, by having babies. So
yes, it's not created in a traditional sense, though.
Yeah. But does that matter?
No. Now, I think ethically it matters. I don't think, like, in terms of that person being created in a test tube, right, of human minds makes them any less human. I think ethically it's not the best thing, if that makes sense.
I don't think Christianity goes?
Yeah.
Why?
I think God created a perfectly good way of doing it.
Okay. I mean, yeah. It's one of those questions. Like, but why? Like, what's the where's the distinction? Just because it's not a what if they synthetically make a sperm and an egg? Because it's not generated by your body.
That's a good question.
But it also wasn't generated by your body until you were born. So.
This is one of those things. Like, I'm usually the guy with the strong opinion. I don't have one.
It's an interesting one to think about, because I'm just imagining the so-called conservative Christian community, whatever you want to call them. We'll call it the Westboro Baptist Church of the Future.
Oh gosh.
The WBCOTF. Somebody spell that out. What is that? Make a word like woodcalf or something. Anyways, what would they do? And I feel like it'd be the same as like what we see with abortion clinics and homosexuality stuff with them, where they would not be for it.
Well, they're not necessarily not for it, hateful towards them.
Okay. Against it, I should say.
Okay.
Not for it, but against it. I feel like that would be the case. And I feel like it would be pretty widespread too.
Yes.
Lab-grown humans.
Yeah, the Christian community would definitely be up in arms against that.
They would not like that. And then they would be like segregated against them or something.
I think they treat it just like any other issue. I mean, of course, it depends on the Christian, right? Because we don't want to make generalizations.
But this isn't like being gay or whatever. This is the fabric of this thing's very existence is being called invalid. That's what I mean.
So do you think that Christians will go and try and like, ooh. Man, I really don't know what the response would be, because who would you? So let's say some sort of evangelical, and then some sin has been committed in this, right? Who do you call to do the repenting and believe in Christ? The person that was built out of it, but you're claiming he's not human, so he can't be saved, or he's not sinless, or would you ask the doctor to do that? But then where does that leave that guy? And what do you call him?
I think you mean who would be to blame for these people?
Yes, that's what I would say.
I feel like the person doing the creating, because they're taking the place of God.
Okay,
sort of.
So
that's yeah.
Okay, that can be agreeable. However, I don't think that invalidates the existence of like the person, right?
It doesn't.
So it wouldn't make sense.
Right. I think we've defeated the future bigotry.
Of like we're already getting ahead of it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one. Just based on past behaviors of the religious organizations and stuff, I believe they would be strongly against it. Just like stem cell research and all the other stuff.
Christians are against stem cell research?
Pretty sure, because it has to do with, I don't know.
It has to do with manipulating cells. I mean, but I'm not surprised by it.
Specifically, like the like really early cells, I guess, of a baby or something, and then it like you can't. It's basically an abortion or something. I don't know.
You can get stem cells from a lot of other sources. So but
those aren't the ones that they're against. It's a specific type of.
Okay, that makes sense.
As far as I know, someone correct me in the comments, but my understanding is that's why the Christian community doesn't like it, or the.
I mean, that makes total sense then. But I don't know. I just feel like Christians get too picky with stuff, you know, and aren't reasonable about it. Mm-hmm. And then
there's no. I feel like they don't have any nuance to it, and they just say no.
They just clump everything together.
Yeah, I feel like most of any of those issues are open for debate, and people should act like it. Mm-hmm. But I think just like everything, people like to follow, and they probably just take the words from their pastor and just say that's his gospel. This is the exact answer, and we'll go with this. And then they fight tooth and nail for it, even though it's probably just some dude's opinion. So there's a lesson to be learned in there for all of us.
That is very true. I mean, like we always say on this show, Christians are sometimes too hard set, whereas the only thing that we should be hard set about is Christ. Mm-hmm. You know, and that is the foundation for our faith, and we put our trust in Him for our salvation. And if you believe that, then you're saved. You're saved in Christ's blood, and so. I mean, when you look at it that way, then all these other things, while they may be important, right? These are very important issues that we discuss. I guess not how to do church, but like things regarding how to approach homosexuality, abortion, and all these other issues, vitally important. But remember, faith in Christ is essential. Yeah. These other things are always secondary and
debatable.
Yeah, and always the solution is Christ. Always the solution.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. And that's something to remember with all these topics. But, you know, people treat them like they're like the most important thing. No. So we can discuss them and show the errors in people's way of thinking with this stuff. But, yeah, I'll think more about this future stuff. Yeah. See if we got any more scenarios.
Also, like another way to think about it is like this is something I do with my friends who aren't Christian, but like one of my friends, she's like an atheist, doesn't really care. But we were talking about how in our opinion, people who deny the theory of evolution, it's dumb, right? Mm. But I of course I used to be a young Earth creationist, and so I understand the arguments very well. And said, okay. Let's do an experiment here. I'm going to pretend to be a young Earth creationist. You're going to try and convince me that evolution is true. And so some of the things I said to her, which are scientific facts, that she had no response to. And I'm like, okay, you're first going to have to figure out the explanation for these things that I've given you, which are very easy explanations, but you still need to learn these things before you can call the argument dumb.
Oh, yeah, for sure. By the way, what were those scientific things?
Oh, so I've mentioned this to you before. So a common young Earth argument is that in the early 2000s, this paleontologist was doing an experiment with a tyrannosaur bone, right? It was a leg bone. And so what she did, she had her assistant take a slice of this bone and dissolve it in acid just a little bit to do something with it. I forgot what it was. But she accidentally dissolved away all the bone. But what was left there was flesh from this T-Rex bone, right? And so she actually did... And this experiment has been repeated multiple times with different types of dinosaurs. You can actually find in some fossils ancient bone marrow, red blood cells, and
this is how Jurassic Park started.
I wish, dude. But yeah, and so scientists are baffled by this because, of course, fossilization gets rid of all of the ancient flesh and bone and all that, and replaces it with rock and sediment. So, you know, of course, young Earthers jumped on this as an explanation that dinosaurs lived amongst humans, right?
Yeah.
And so and so she was looking at me like all crazy, and I'm like, hey, that's the argument you have to solve.
Well, it's probably just like sealed in or something.
It is by like iron and all that, a preservative. So it's a very simple enough explanation. And even if we could not explain that, there is just mountains of things you have to get past in order to say that the Earth is only 6,000 to 20,000 years old. So,
but it's debatable.
It is debatable. There are people much smarter than me that can destroy my arguments with it.
We need a flat Earth around here.
Yeah, we do.
I think we know some.
We do, yeah. They used to comment on the old show.
Yep. I think we need them in here. Oh, gosh. Oh, I hate it. It's a doozy of a debate.
Have you ever debated a flat earther? Because I haven't.
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, it's weird.
What is their main argument for the flat earth?
It depends on what they, like, think. Because there's different flat earth organizations and, like, people. And some are wacky just to make fun of it. But some are not. So a lot of times what I've found is people, like, believe in a bunch of these other ones. So it just depends on who you're talking to, I guess.
Interesting.
But they believe in magnetism, but not gravity, basically.
My brain's gonna hurt from
density
this.
levels in the air. I don't know. It's
and see, like my only question is like, have you ever been in an airplane? Right, and it's not for the curvature argument. It's a fact that I could go from one place all around the world in an airplane, and you won't see me turning around, going a different route than what the map says.
Yeah, but they say you'd have to constantly be readjusting so you don't fly off the earth if it was a ball. Because if you're going straight, you would just go right off. Like what? Because it's a circle, so why wouldn't you just? You have to constantly be adjusting downward.
It's gravity.
They don't believe in gravity.
You see, and herein lies the problem. Well, you have different perspectives. You have different presuppositions for why you believe that.
Yeah.
And so
we need one. I need to. Oh no, actually, I don't want to. Like it's something I want to do, but I don't want to do because I'm like, it's so tedious. Every little thing is like, I don't know. Every little well-known scientific fact, essentially, is questioned. Or not questioned, thrown out, pretty much. Except for magnetism, for some reason. I don't get that.
I remember...
maybe I think it's because you can, like, see magnets, how magnets work, with each other.
Yeah.
So, like, we're good on that. But everything else, get out of here.
Yeah.
Sorry, flat earthers. I can't abide by this nonsense.
Yeah, it is nonsense. Just go on a plane and just fly. Trust me, I was just on a plane and the other day. You don't have to readjust for the altitude. Yeah, please.
There's a severe lack of scale, I feel like, with these debates. Or with the arguments. It's like, the Earth is a ginormous place. You're not going to be able to, like... see the curvature from just like the Salt Lake area.
Yeah, I know.
It's a freaking massive planet. But anyway,
I mean, I encourage y'all, if you have $250,000 to book a flight on the Virgin Galactic up into space, reserve a spot.
Yeah, but then they'll just look down and see the circle and be like, see, it's flat.
I know. I feel like that's what they're going to do because you can't see the whole thing unless you go around.
Exactly.
But then how do they explain things like the ISS? Because you can clearly, if you're camping out somewhere, you can see satellites moving.
They're just talking about lights. They're just like, it's just lights in the sky. The lights in the sky thing, man. Yeah, it's, I don't know what.
I can't. I can't. All right. Before I become sinful in my anger, we need to end this show.
Flat earthers, come debate us.
We would love to have you. Anything else, Steve?
No, I think we're good. Just make sure to go to cult.love.
We're going to be moving there soon. Oh, I said we're going to be moving there soon.
Yeah, we'll be moving there soon. We will let you know the details of that when it happens. But for now, go to cult.love, become a member, enjoy all the content there. There's so much there. It's such a good resource, and you can connect with other people that are like-minded, and it's awesome.
Yep.
So definitely go check that out. And if you like our stuff, subscribe, like, comment, share, get some people listening and watching. And let's get the views.
And then follow me on Instagram, Ethan Z. Foster, if you want to keep up with my personal life, which is quite interesting.
You don't get my Instagram.
I'll send y'all Steve's Instagram.
It's fine. We love you all. And comment, please. I want to know what y'all have to say.
Yeah, and again, unless it's a long ramble, then I don't want to hear it. Make it short.
Okay, here's the thing. You can ramble for a long time. It's fine. We'll probably read the Cliff Notes version of it, but don't expect us to like respond to those ones. If you want us to respond, you can make a short one, but feel free to make long stuff. It's just don't be mad if we don't respond.
Yeah, I like responding to you guys' comments, so it's very painful when I have 5 paragraphs in the YouTube comment section.
It's fine. Just means I'll have to respond to it.
All right. I guess we will see you guys next week. This is Christians Against Religion.
Peace.